Welcome to part 2 of our Project 3 lecture video. This is actually on the project, not the chapter. Let's go back to your Blackboard algorithm that I had posted there and look at step 2. That's where we left off. We declared all of our variables for input. We did our input-output statements. And let's look here. Step 2, calculate the team score by first multiplying the team 2 baskets by 2, then multiplying the 3 baskets by 3. And you add both of the sum of those to the team free throw points because they're only worth 1 point apiece. So it looks like we're going to have to do a little calculating to get the total for the team and the total for Michael. So let's go back to the project and the processing end of it. We're going to need to do something to get all that data in there. So here's our team total score, or points. So how do I change something that's stored at a location? Currently, what's stored a team score? Well, we initialized it to 0 and we've done nothing to it since. And how do we do that? Well, we did that with an assignment. And that's how you're going to do it here. You're going to have an assignment, and on the right of the assignment operator, you're going to have your calculations. So think about it. And let's see if we can figure out, based on the algorithm, because it says calculate team score by first multiplying the team 2-point baskets by 2. Well, our 2-point baskets are stored in the name, in the memory location pointed to by this name here, team 2-point. So I'll do this, and multiply it by what? 2. Okay. Now, you know, the mathematical order of operations is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, you know, or pink elephants make dandy applesauce. If you're in doubt, just put some parens around it. It's not the end of the world. So, and then it's going to be 3 by 3, if I'm reading this correctly. Asterisk is your multiplication symbol. And then we're going to add in what? Free points. And end it with a semicolon. Okay. Now we do the same thing for Michael's total. Right? So that's going to be here, assignment. So let's look at this before I continue on. What's the rule for an assignment statement or assignment operation? You take everything that's on the right over here. It has to be one value. Once you get it to one value, place that in the memory location pointed to by the name on the left. And that's how we get all of this into here. I have more than one value here. I have an actual series of calculations. So I'm going to multiply this by 2, multiply this by 3, and add them all together. Then I'll have one value. That will get assigned in the team score. And essentially, it's the same for Michael, only the variable names are different. So I'm going to copy, paste, and change the variable names. Let's see. Whoops. All right. And then it's Michael score. Nope, Michael 3 points. Sorry. You know what? I did not do Michael's here. I stopped and should have continued on. So I'll have to do that too. I bet you already noticed that, didn't you? I'll bet you did. Okay. I would have had some serious problems here. All right, now let's go back up here and fix this. I got the team's input, but I did not get Michael's input. Forgot to do that, so let me go ahead and get that going. So we got team 3, and this is where Michael's goes. So it's going to be Michael 2-point. It's one of the dangers of doing it this way. Now look, what did I just do? This is a stupid touchpad. It's driving me insane. All right. There's Michael 2-point. Okay, and then there's Michael 3-point. Keep my finger off of that trigger over here. And there's Michael 3 points. Now, once this runs, we'll have 6 input-output pairs. All right. My mistake. Okay. Save it. Now, what's left? Let's go back to the algorithm. It says, let me minimize this. I don't want to see that. Calculate Michael's contribution by dividing the Michael score by the team score and then multiplying by 10. So let's do that. Now, where's that going to go? It's going to go right here. Michael's contribution. Now, you could do that in your output statement. I'm going to go ahead and do it in processing and then just output that variable. Go back and look at it one more time. Divide Michael's score by team score. All right, so we need Michael's score divided by what? Team score. And then it says multiply by 10. Let's see if that's going to work, if that's correct or not. So we wanted to do the division first. It would do it anyway because it parses from left to right, but multiply by 10, semicolon. All right, so there's my processing. Save it. And before I output anything, I'm going to go ahead and put some breakpoints. I'm going to show you how to do this real quick. Breakpoints pause the debugging session, and that will allow you to stop and add these into the watch window to see what you have. And plus, this will help me before I get to the end, go ahead and debug it. Now, I press F5 for debugging. When you hit a breakpoint, execution will stop, and then you can step through the code using F10, okay? All right, when you see this, always do this. Don't tell it no. Always build a new EXE, because you may be running one that's 15 minutes old. You don't want that. You want the latest one, so go ahead and do that. And hopefully in a minute it's going to pop up. While we wait, I'm going to have some coffee. I don't know why it takes so long for these things to compile. It's just a simple EXE. It's not like you got tons of GUI stuff on there. It's trying. Might want to. There we go. There it is. And there's two baskets. Okay, now if you go back to your algorithm, you'll see that there are some desk checks here. So here's the first one is, let's do is 25. Okay. The 3-point team is 14. And the free points are 10. Looks like the printout's a little weird here. All right, then Michael's. See, I didn't change. Look at that. There is a logic error. I didn't change the verbiage. Now that's not going to affect the output, but it's definitely not good. So I need to go back and change that to Michael's 2-point. So it's 11. You probably saw that too, didn't you? And the 3-point is 4. And the free point baskets is, what is it? Is it 3 or 8? I can't tell. 3, I think. 11, 4, and 3. All right. See what it did? It broke right there. Execution stopped at that point. You can tell by the little right pointing yellow arrow inside the red circle. And I want to add these into my watch window so I can see what we're coming up with here. All right. So you right click on it. You can only add the watch when it's running in debug mode. You can't do it before it runs. So add watch. Notice team score is 0 because they haven't done anything yet. And add watch and add watch. Now, let's step through by pressing F10 and let's see what happens down here to team score. Debugging is really important if you want to find errors. Okay. All right, so it looks like the team score is 102. Michael's is 37. And Michael's contribution did not calculate for some reason. Or I don't know what's going on with that. Michael contribution, is that the right name? I'll have to look into that. Oh well, I'm going to go ahead and stop this. Or I can F5 to go all the way through. That'll take us out. Press any key to continue. Team score, Michael score divided by team score times 10. I don't know. I'm going to take these brakes off. You put them on, take them off just by clicking on them. Over here in this little gray bar area. Let me go up here and fix my logic error that I have. And this should say Michael's. Should it not? It should. Whoops. Okay. Come on. Let go. What's it doing? This machine is certainly not the latest and the greatest. Okay. I don't know why I'm having this issue here. Team score, Michael score. Should be 120 divided by whatever that was times 10. We'll see. All right. I don't know. Maybe it's because it just went to system pause. It didn't have time to update. Probably an error, though. All right. See out. What are we outputting? What's the whole point of this thing? The whole point is to output Michael's contribution. So I'm going to use something very similar to the first sentence in the book. Michael's percentage of the total points contribution, percentage of contribution to the team. To the team score is colon space. Now what goes over here? Well, we're going to output the actual thing that we calculated, Michael's contribution. And I'm going to put one more end L on there just so it won't, that please press any key to continue won't mess us up. All right, let's save it. Let's run it. See what we get. Probably not what I expected. All right, let's go back and use the data in the book. It was 2, 25, 14, and 10, I think. Yeah. 14, 10. And then it was 11, 4, and 3. 0.0. All right, that didn't work. Why am I getting that? Michael score, team score. Oh, I bet I know because they're integers, maybe. All right. Well, this is going to be the end of part 2 until I can figure out what I got wrong. I'll be back in just a bit. See you then.